Hello, I'm Brianna. I'm going to be discussing my project on powering a rural medical clinic in Uganda. This is for my PV course at Oregon Institute of Technology. I want to give a little background on Uganda itself before discussing the system. So, over the last few years, Uganda's economy has been steadily improving, but that improvement has not been uniform throughout the country. The map on the right showing the access to electricity can be a proxy for the state of the economy. So in central southern Uganda, where the capital is located, the largest proportion of people with access to electricity is located. This is also where the most affluent population is located. As you move farther into the north and to the east, you're moving into rural Uganda, where the access to electricity is practically zero throughout most of that region. And this is also where the poorest population of the country lives. So the goal of the project is to both provide access to electricity, even if it's only on a small scale, but it's also to help improve access to medical care. So the graph on the left is showing the World Health Organization's report on Uganda's immunization rates. So over the last decade, it has been improving. However, there's still a lot of room for improvement. And by providing electricity for this health clinic, they will have access to a refrigerator to refrigerate medications and vaccines, and hopefully improve their vaccination rate and their health outcomes. So Uganda as a whole has a really good solar resource. Petiko is the town where this rural health clinic is located, and it's in northern Uganda. And this town gets somewhere between 5.5 and 6 peak sun hours a day, which is actually a really good amount. So the top left image is satellite imagery of Petiko and specifically the medical clinic. And overlaid over that is the sun path, where the shaded area is the region that gets the most solar irradiation, and it goes directly over the health clinic's roof. And the imagery also shows that none of the tall trees are close enough to shade the roof of the building, and the neighboring buildings aren't tall enough to do so either. This makes the roof an ideal location to mount the solar panels of the system, making it an easier and cheaper installation process. So the system is composed of 9 345-watt PV modules that are connected to a charge controller. The battery bank is also connected to this charge controller, though a very specific battery was chosen due to its high capacity, allowing only one battery for the bank instead of multiple ones, which is more usual. This then feeds into the inverter that supplies the AC power needed for the devices in the clinic. So the inverter is a 1500-watt inverter that is designed to take 24 volts from the solar panels. So the DC system voltage of the solar system is 24 volts. So all of these components are rated at 24 volts. The load controller is kind of unique in that it automatically diverts extra power once the batteries are fully charged to diversionary loads. This means that there doesn't need to be monitoring of the system to ensure that the batteries aren't overcharged. So the solar panels are manufactured by Blue Sun, and as stated, they're 24 volts. They're on the cheaper end, but they're still durable enough to be a good fit for this location. And then the batteries themselves, like I said, they're rather large. Though the manufacturer has designed it to where you can remove individual cells, so you don't need a forklift to install these like you would if it were a unit that couldn't be separated. So while it is a large unit, it lasts for a long time. The system's designed to operate at a 50% depth of discharge, which makes these batteries last 10 years apiece. So that means that only 3 of these batteries are needed to power the system for the life of the solar panels. And while these batteries are more expensive than the standard lead acid batteries, they're over 10 grand a piece. When considered over the life of the system, they're actually about a third less than what the standard batteries would cost. So this slide shows the system sizing summary in the top table, which goes over the total watts needed for the loads and the different sizing of the components. And then the table at the bottom gives a summary of the loads for the clinic itself. So the clinic's loads are designed to be minimal, where they have a fridge for the medications and vaccines. They have access to some simple other medical devices, maybe a portable ultrasound, and then the lights for the clinic, as well as cell phone chargers, since there's no other building that has electricity in this community. This provides a place for them to charge cell phones. The table on the left goes over the cost of the system broken down by component. And the batteries are by far the most expensive piece of this system. This is showing the cost of 3 batteries. So the cost of the initial installation would actually be 25 grand less than what this is showing. But the goal is to secure funding for the life of the system, so the community isn't responsible for replacing these batteries when they have come to their end of life. So likely areas of funding would be grants from organizations that are looking to improve access to electricity or better healthcare. Crowdfunding is a good option as well to seek out like-minded people who want to support these aims. And then government investment, whether that be from the US government supporting developing countries or from Uganda itself, who might want to fund this kind of an initiative. So that's the project. It's to provide power for a medical clinic. And thank you for watching this video, and I hope you support my project.